218 years ago, a group of men began a journey across North America. These men were led by two very special individuals, named Meriwether Lewis and William Clark. The goal of this expedition was to find a westward flowing passageway to the Pacific Ocean and lay eyes on a new territory acquired by the U.S. government under the Louisiana Purchase. The most trying and iconic part of this escapade was when the group reached the Columbia River Gorge and descended the mighty Columbia River by canoe headed for the Pacific Ocean. Today, many things have changed in this beautiful region of the world, but one thing remains. That being the spirit of man and the continued thirst for adventure that lurks in the minds of outdoor enthusiasts. I've always been infatuated with the stories and legends of this historic trip and what it would have been like to see the river in such a way, which ultimately sparked this idea: to hop on a kayak, point it west downriver towards the Pacific Ocean, travel over 100 miles, and experience the river that raised me in a whole new way. Welcome to the journey, Bonneville to Astoria. Well, if we're going to survive 120 miles, we better make a list this time, so we're not going to want to forget anything on this trip. I'm thinking all we'll need are the kayaks. Here goes nothing. The motors, batteries, our bedroll, tarps, probably a table. Our cot, crack stove, fishing tackle, rods indeed, you of course, and a cooler full of food. All right, what do you think we should pack for food? I think we got some good ideas. To stay hydrated, I think we're gonna go with very water-filled foods. We got a bag of watermelon. Got my famous salmon salad. This is probably gonna be my favorite. I pre-made this. This has got canned salmon, some shallots, cucumber, pickles, and some seasoning in there. It's gonna go really nice in some lettuce wraps. Our romaine for lettuce wraps. Bag salad for evening time. Jar of pickles, of course. Packages of smoked fish, maybe a thing of sausage, and can't forget the cheese, and a bag of licorice. That should get us by. This morning's coffee is the Steelhead Manufacturing Co. Catch of the day. Good cup of joe. Safety first. Well, we've made it, everybody. Here we are, the Hamilton Island boat ramp. This is the furthest up put in on the Columbia River below Bonneville Dam, and now begins our 120-mile journey. To do this in 4 days and 3 nights, we're gonna have to make 30 miles a day. So we're gonna chart out our course here and see how far it's gonna take to get to our next location. I'm gonna measure distance, and we're gonna run 30 miles to find our first campsite of the trip. Man, it's gonna be a long one. So we're gonna go to here. There's 10, 11, 12, 18, 20, 24, 26, and 30. That looks like a pretty nice spot to camp. So there it is, our first day's journey. We're gonna go from Bonneville almost all the way to Camas, Washington to the 205 bridge. And really this kind of embarks on the same journey that Lewis and Clark took. It's basically about as far as we could make it each day as the same kind of trip that they did. Obviously the river flowed a lot different back then, but their first stop was Fort Vancouver when they came through the Bonneville Rapids. Before Bonneville Dam was a dam, it was a massive, it's called the Cascades of Bonneville, and we'll cut to a little clip right now of what that used to look like. But here it goes, 30 miles, day one, let's do it. Well, two eagles soaring overhead to start the trip. I think that's a good omen. Time to go. So here starts our Lewis and Clark journey of sorts. I think I'm gonna be Clark because Sean seems a little bit more like a Merriweather. This is gonna be a heck of a journey, you guys. I'm not really sure what to expect as I float out into the beginning of this trip into the river for the first time. It's definitely intimidating. This is a huge river, and we have a long ways to go. 120 miles. I don't know if I've said that a few times already. Starting with an upriver wind, and in the base of one of the most beautiful places in the world, the Columbia River Gorge. So it's going to be a journey. I think we have enough supplies. We definitely have enough fishing gear. Here we go. The goal is going to be to conserve our batteries best we can. I have our Minn Kota trolling motors on the bow of these kayaks, which is going to be a big help, but we only have so much battery and 120 miles to go, so I'm going to try to utilize that when I can the best. I did some research before we got out here, and the river flow out of the dam, out of Bonneville Dam, is an average of about 2.5 miles an hour as that stream flow goes by Vancouver. So that's quite a ways downriver. So to do that, to make it 30 miles a day at 2.5 miles an hour, we're going to have to go for 12 hours to get to our destination. I'm guessing at points we're going to be going faster than 2.5 miles an hour. I bet right now we're going at about 3. So we'll be able to make up that time in some places. In other places we'll have to really use our batteries and our muscles to make up that difference and gain that speed to make sure that we can make it downriver fast enough. So while we're up here at Bonneville and we have such good stream flow, I'm going to stick with the paddle. I'm going to paddle my way down as far as I can until we start hitting some wider open water where it's not moving quite as fast. And then we're going to switch over to the trolling motor and start to fish. So wish us luck. Well, first couple miles in, I think you guys can tell we're making some really good headway up here by Bonneville. We're probably going a good 6 to 7 miles an hour right now going by this bank. You can see how fast it's moving by. And I really want to utilize this. I have my motor up. We're paddling like hell. And really right now, because we can kind of take it easy, I'm just enjoying the view. The Columbia River Gorge is one of the most incredible places on the West Coast, maybe in the world. It's such a unique piece of country and a unique landmark. And I think the geology and the change in geology on this trip is going to be probably one of the most unique things to see as we go downriver. As we're in the gorge here, this is all made of columnized basalt. And the basalt layers come from Idaho, and this is an ancient volcanic eruption where basically this lava flow came all the way down the Columbia River from Idaho, which kind of helped create the Snake River and covered up the landmass that was here in the lower Columbia Estuary tens of thousands of years ago. And they say up in the Dalles, which is about 50 miles above us here, that the basalt layer is almost 10,000 feet thick. So what we're seeing here in the Columbia River Gorge as we come out is the etch of that, basically the cut that the river made out of that 10,000 feet of basalt. And as we move further and further down towards the ocean, you're going to see that disappear and start to see more sediment and different kinds of land masses and structure that change into these more flat, kind of tidal estuary areas. But like I said, as long as we're here right now, we're making our way and making great headway down the river. I'm going to utilize this current the best that I can and enjoy the view. It's a beautiful day out here, that's for sure. So off to our north here, you guys, we probably have one of the most iconic landmarks. And the landmarks is one thing that's gonna really help us figure out where we're at, other than our normal GPS that we have on our phone. But off to our north here is Beacon Rock, and that's a really, really telltale example of those columnized basalts. You can see those layers that come up out of the ground and the thousands and thousands of years of erosion that the Columbia River has created, washing away around that Beacon Rock there. And it really is one of the most iconic things on the Columbia River as we start our journey here. You can see on the Oregon side here, as we go down, the fire that went through here is called the Eagle Creek Fire. It was about 4 or 5 summers ago. This huge wildfire burned through the Columbia River Gorge, scorching all this hillside, and it gives it a really unique and powerful look today. Never quite seen the river from this angle. Pretty powerful. It's hard not to imagine and think about Lewis and Clark's journey down this river and the first time they actually saw all this country. I can only imagine the characteristics of the river and how much it's changed over the years, but just how intimidating basically a lot of this country is. And as we go down, and just to be stuck on this little kayak, just like they were in their little canoes on this massive river, it just kind of makes you feel this big. It makes you feel like such a blip on the earth, going down such a volume of water in such a small craft. But I think me and Little got a handle. What do you think, bud? You doing pretty good so far? Oh, I love you. This is my little dog on the Lewis and Clark journey right here. Okay, so now that we've made it into a first little calm section, I kind of pulled out of the way of this big stern wheeler that's coming by. You can see it coming by over here in the distance. But I'm gonna take this opportunity to start fishing. My fishing goal along this whole escapade, basically, oh, we're going back upriver. We're gonna wanna change that here. My fishing goal along this whole escapade is really gonna be determined on our locations. I'm not gonna fish a whole lot along the way, and that's probably gonna let you guys down who are watching this for the fishing. But the main reason for that is we need to make headway where we can and cover ground where is best, where we have that current, and then we're gonna take the time to fish in areas that fishing is gonna be best. Obviously, we're about as far away from the ocean as we can be right now. We're gonna be ending in the tidewater of the ocean down in Astoria. And so that being said, the river is gonna be better and better fishing the further and further down that we get. So I'm gonna make that kind of a point in the video. I brought a bass rod, so we're gonna fish for some smallmouth along the way. We might fish for some sturgeon from camp or wherever we get the chance to. But right now, what we're gonna go with first is I have my 360 rod. I have my little 8-foot 𝗛𝗟𝗪 Guide Select. This is actually a plug rod, but it works really good from these kayaks. It's a 12 to 25 pound rod. I got my short bus flasher. I got my short bus spinner. And my favorite color, I got a little red one on here. I'm gonna get my 16-ounce lead on and send it out and see if we can find ourselves a fish along this journey here on the first day. Go with a 16-ounce lead here. Should hold us down. Let's see if we get a good spin. Speed is gonna be the object here. Not sure if I'm gonna have enough spin or enough speed here to make this flasher work. So one thing I don't like is that I'm seeing some white caps up ahead, which is not gonna make this first leg of this journey very easy. I have to hug the bank, get out from out of the wind, so that we can just cover some ground. Honestly, go 25 on my counter to start. No clue how deep it is. That's gonna be an issue. I feel like throughout most of this trip, I'm gonna help myself out here, paddling. Well, I think with this wind, it's probably a little pointless to be fishing. I'm not really effectively getting down there. I can't see my flasher thumping at all. I'm probably tangled up already because of it. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna put this bad boy away, wait till we get to an area that's a little more conducive to fishing, and just work on getting some ground covered here. Starting to get a pretty damn good chop here out in the middle of the river. So that being said, No need to get too crazy. Let's just focus on getting to camp for the first night, and we can fish from there. I'm hoping once we get out of the actual gorge itself that we're not gonna see quite as much wind as we're seeing right now. Pretty brutal already, I must say. The wind is not gonna be our friend on this trip. And I'm not looking forward to the fact that it might keep blowing like this the whole time, so let's put this thing away. I think it's time to focus on still just covering some ground. So this section here is definitely one that I expected to be the hardest. And this is a section in between basically Bonneville Dam, or excuse me, Multnomah Falls, all the way down to Troutdale, Oregon. As you drive up Highway 84 East, you can kind of see the grand scheme of it and how wide it is. And I knew this part would be really defeating, kind of like some of the stuff we're going to see in the lower river, because it's so wide and it's so long, and you can see the end of the tunnel the whole time. You guys look forward here. Oh, let me turn my chesty on. The problem is, that makes it so hard, is you can see where we need to go. We need to round that horn way down there at the end, all the way around there, and then go about another 6 or 7 miles down to Camas, Washington, and Government Island is where we're going to stay tonight. But this stretch I knew would be the hardest part of the day, because once again I can see all the way to where we need to go, which makes it a lot more defeating. But we're going to do our best, see where we get. First snack of the morning. Tiny, I'm getting a little low on energy. I think we need a snack. Oh, what are you trying to close it on me? I don't know. What do we eat, little? Maybe some watermelon. Watermelon will have to do. Give us a little hydration at the same time. You don't want none of that. Termiston watermelon season here in the Pacific Northwest. And I am a fiend for watermelon. So it's gonna be partially our main diet on this trip. Watermelon. Well, we're about 6 miles in on a 30-mile day. One thing I'm excited for is to get down by this giant cliff that's on the north side of the river here. I've never actually got that close in a kayak like this. I grew up on this river, but there's going to be a lot of spots on this stretch or on this next couple of days that I've never actually boated through before, so it'll be really unique. But a little snack to keep me going. Yum. All right, wind's calmed down just a little bit. Got a little hectic there. That was our first little taste of like kind of gnarly wind there, where it was almost unmanageable, kind of getting our asses kicked. You can see back behind us, it's still white capping, but we're making it behind this mountain over here behind the camera. Some giant cliffs coming up, so we're gonna fly the drone and show you guys that. Got some really interesting weather today. We're calling for scattered thunderstorms, so I'm really hoping that we don't start getting any lightning, because I got this lightning rod here behind me, and I don't want my poor little tiny dog back there getting shocked. We're still making good time, but I bet we'd be more than 2 miles further downriver right now if it wasn't for this wind. So we're going by a lot of really good bass territory here. We got some really great rock structure and like outcroppings of pillars and stuff, but I don't want to waste time, because I do not know if we can make it the 30 miles if we actually stop and do a lot of fishing. So time for a snack. Smoked salmon. You ready for a snack? Yeah, I bet you are. Freaky enough, as soon as I said that, I can actually hear the tip of my rod buzzing behind me. That's kind of freaky. I think I might lay this thing down. Yeah, I can actually hear the buzzing sound of the electricity kind of running through the tip of that rod, so definitely some lightning coming in. But we might as well die with a full stomach. Man, that's good. Here you go, pal. Oh boy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is 1 o'clock and we're officially halfway through our first day. We're just passing. I'll turn the boat here a little bit so you can see. I don't know if you can see it there behind me, but Rooster Rock doesn't necessarily resemble a rooster, but I think you guys get the point of the name. But nevertheless, we are halfway. We have made it 15 miles and it is beautiful out now. I got the rod running, I'm fishing, I'm hitting bottom. That is one thing for certain. I'm fishing now. All is good in the world. And we got another 15 miles to go for camp. So I'm guessing with another 6 hours, we'll be to camp right about 6, 7 o'clock, which should give us plenty of time to bass fish. I'll probably maybe stop along the way somewhere. There's some really good fishing spots through this little section here that I'm gonna stop and fish. I'm pretty familiar with this section of the river, so things are looking good. The wind's not blowing anymore, it's not raining, and we're halfway through our day. We've entered a section of river that I'm familiar with and I know it's really good bass fishing, so I'm going to take that opportunity to get a fish on the line. We'll see if there's any smallmouth that want to bite, but I'm going to switch over to my bass rod. I brought an X rod for my bass rod here today. I'm going to put a little Brad's Wiggler on there, see if we can't find ourselves a bass or two to play with. Let's start with this silver one first. Okay, now we're getting into some more bassy stuff here. Starting to see a lot more rock structure over there. There's some hydrilla mixed in with that rock. That looks like a perfect little hiding spot for a smallmouth. Let's see if there's one over there. Oop, just kidding. What's up?
Rocking?
Rocking hard.
How's it going?
Pretty good. Just stopped to bass fish a little bit here in Camas. Oh, I just missed one. I need a buddy bite. Buddy bite.
What are you fishing? Just Brad's Wigglers?
Yeah, just wigglers. Just a chartreuse and chrome wiggler. But yeah, making pretty good time actually. We should make it to oh, there he is, I got one. I got him. Oh yeah, buddy bite. Buddy bite.
Buddy bite.
Got the buddy bite with Marlon on the phone. First fish of the trip. I knew I just missed one. Oh yeah, there it is. Woohoo! Smallmouth on. Stay little, stay. All right. Try not to get, oh my God, almost got hooked on the first fish of the trip. I don't trust this little guy. I'm gonna do one of these and one of these. Got him. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. The first fish of our 4-day, 120-mile journey. A beautiful little smallmouth. What do you think of him, little? He's not your favorite kind of fish, but he's a beauty nonetheless. Beautiful guy. Thanks, little guy. Thanks for being the first. See you later. Woohoo! First fish of the trip. I couldn't be happier. Right where I thought they'd be. Yay, everybody. Fish on. Thank you, Marlon, for calling. Best buddy bite never, ever fails. If you guys are ever out there and you can't catch fish, call a friend and you'll catch fish. I did just miss another one, though. You can see this beautiful submerged structure over here. It's just this beautiful rock ledge that's submerged, and it takes about 8 to 10 feet right off the edge of it. And I'm just running this wiggler right alongside of it. I'm kind of sitting right over where the fish would be, and just, grass. And just running it straight along, trying to almost laterally fish this rather than vertically back and forth. I'm just laterally fishing this whole edge. That way I'm getting the most amount of coverage and kind of covering that depth. So, couldn't be happier. We're going into salmon land. I talked to my good friend Jared Higginbotham, who's an awesome sponsor of ours. And we were supposed to go down fishing with them this weekend, and they're down in Astoria where this trip is ending. So they were fishing for 3 days in a row and hooked almost 70 fish. Had absolutely crazy days, hooked over 20 fish every single day they fished. So my hope is to be able to play with some of these game fish as we go through this area here. And then as we get a little bit closer to the coast, we can start getting into those salmon species and hopefully get us a salmon for the barbecue or the fire at some point on this trip. So that is the hope. We can keep our fingers crossed, but nevertheless, we caught a fish on day one. Yeah. All right, can we fit everyone? That is the question. I think we can fit maybe right here. Turn the nose a little bit. Hold on, little. It's gonna be a bump. While we go through here, though, I gotta get a cast right here. That is fishy. Oh, I had a big one following it. There was 2 big ones following it. Son of a gun. We can see how far we've come. It's pretty wild to turn around and look and see the distance, and it's gonna be even more crazy to think about once we're finally done with this trip on the 4th day, how far we've actually come. So we've gone about a little over 20 miles already so far. It's 3 o'clock right now, so we started at 8, took all the way to 3. It's gonna probably take us till about 6 or 7 to get to camp, but a successful day no less. All right, well, nobody said we couldn't make a pit stop, eh?
Hi there.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. How do you this middle section?
Cheers. Well deserved. Come on, little. Well, caught a buzz. Time to catch a fish. To camp we go. Get it back. In the back. No, not in the front. Go, over here. In the back. Go, go. Keep going. Over there. There you go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we found our spot. This looks like a beautiful little sand point, kind of unexposed, back out of the wind. Might have some pretty good little fishing current here where we can run some wobblers. As we came down under the 205 bridge, we saw a guy hook up. We wondered if he was hooked up. And then we saw about a 30-pound Chinook fly out of the water. And I don't think Sean and I are gonna forget that for a while. That was one of the biggest fish I've seen all year. And it broke the guy off and had all of his wobblers set up on it. So needless to say, I think we might be doing some fishing here this evening. We're running out of daylight though, but this is the exact 30-mile mark right here. We did it. Thank you, addicts, for being here on day one. We made it to our destination. Let's go make some dinner. Home. We made it home. Woohoo! Yeah. Time for a shower. Oh, yeah. Oh. Woohoo! We made it. 30 miles in 1 day. right, menu night number one. Like I said, we're keeping this healthy other than the tequila and beer stop. A little everything salad. A bag salad for the road, as usual. Heck, we'll eat the whole thing. We earned it. Throw a little scoop or two of my salmon salad in there. A little protein. Yeah, one scoop ought to do. Hopefully, by tomorrow, we'll be eating some fresh salmon. With any luck. What a killer day, though. I didn't know if we were going to make it this 30 miles, everybody. Kind of reflecting back on it all. Thinking from the memories of just floating away from the ramp. How fast we were moving past all those rocks. The beauty of that gorge. Fighting that wind all day, coming downriver. And then finally, like coming out of the gorge, past Rooster Rock, into this beautiful, flat, sunny, beautiful atmosphere. It's kind of a cool memory for day one. And then seeing that guy lose that fish up there, just the whole thing. Every day as I reflect back and think about it and replay the images here for you guys, it's just a really cool day one. We got 3 more full days of this. Hopefully we can make 30 miles like we did today. We have really good current for this trip because the river is so high this year. So I think if we can keep that average speed of 2.5 miles an hour, we'll be able to make it all the way down to Ridgefield tomorrow. But it's anybody's guess. Time to eat. Well, it's calling for a bit of rain tonight, so the old tarp city is going to be our shelter, just in case. I'm going to keep this hand and pull over our heads in case it does start to rain. So it's not going to be the best, but it's something. Night, everyone. Yeah. Oh, yeah, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Hi, say hi, little. Hi. Okay. Well, slept great last night. Woke up to a bit of a surprise. You can see how close the tide made it. We were almost floating. And good thing we pulled our kayaks up high enough. I checked the tide chart last night before bed and I saw how high it was supposed to come overnight. And I could see the line from the previous day, so something we're gonna have to take into consideration here throughout the rest of the trip. Everything else downriver here is very tidal influenced. So that means we need to tie the kayaks up at night. We need to camp in spots that were above that tide line. But nevertheless, it's time for a cup of joe, maybe a little sausage. And we better hit the river because we got a long ways to go today. Cup of joe to start the day. Then for breakfast today, we're going a little kielbasa, homemade by my dad. Thanks, Dad, if you're watching this. And keep us going through this trip here. Oh, it's okay. J for Jordan. Or L for loser, one of the two. Now it's Jordan and loser. Damn good. Okay, I have the power. Let's paddle. All right, day 2 underway. And a big shout out to the creator today for blessing us with a downriver wind. I don't know if you guys can tell, but the wind is blowing this way, which is towards the ocean, and not this way, which is towards where we started. Today's goal is really, again, as we grow ever closer to the ocean, today's goal is really to try to catch some salmon. I think today might be kind of the easiest because of this wind. We don't have a lot, we got the outgoing tide all day long, so we're gonna make really good time. I think it won't be a super huge pain in the ass to make this 30 miles today. But with that being said, because we are gonna make that time, we're gonna try really, really hard to fish. We're gonna rig Sean up with a rod as well, get him a flasher, and we're gonna try to put a salmon in the boat today. So fingers crossed. I really hope we do. Seeing that fish last night and watching that guy lose that giant Chinook just put that kind of that pit in my stomach, that feeling of like of jealousy, not to be quite honest. But nevertheless, we have just as good a chance today of catching a fish as any. So every day we get closer to Astoria, we're gonna have better and better salmon fishing. Probably won't really try much bass fishing today. I'm gonna try to focus just on the salmon. But we got to go buy some river mouths that really hold a lot of fish today. And we're going to be camping right at the mouth of one river that is very good fishing. So let's make some way. Let's get some fishing done. Let's catch one. Okay. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just starting my troll. Got my rod set at about 47 feet. I'm going with, again, 14 ounces today. I'm not going super heavy because I don't think I have the control like I would with a real motor to get that speed right. I have to have that correct thump to my rod. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of angle back. I'm going to ferry back across and run the kind of the tip end of this island. I would imagine that this island is a huge island we camped on. It's a huge current break for these fish. So I just watched another fishing boat. That's a lot of the way I'm going to be able to fish today is because I don't have my depth finder and stuff on here yet. Is by watching these other fishermen and seeing the same routes that they're taking and watching their lines. So the cool part about where we're camping tonight is Ridgefield was one of the stopping points. Each one of the places that we're stopping is one of the stopping points that Lewis and Clark made on their journey. The first place that they stayed was Fort Vancouver, which is just back behind the trees here in this big flat. So they only made it a couple extra miles. And I would imagine it because back then they had a lot more current flowing down the river. They made it a little bit further from the Cascades of the Columbia down to the Fort Vancouver, but from there they made it all the way down to Ridgefield the next day. I would imagine probably incoming tide or something slowed them down a little bit, but where they stayed in Ridgefield is really cool and really rich in history, where Ridgefield was a massive native community, recorded up to like 3,500 to 4,000 people living in this village at the mouth of the Lewis River. And it's pretty cool. If you go down to the Ridgefield National Wildlife Refuge, there's some documents and stuff that talk about the story of when Lewis and Clark got there and about how the first night that they camped in this area, that the birds were so loud, the waterfowl and everything was so loud, there were so many of them that none of the party could sleep that night. So it's kind of cool to be retracing those steps. Where we're going to be staying the next night is going to be another stopping point for Lewis and Clark, and it just kind of brings to light a neat idea and a neat theory of traveling like this and going by waterway to get to a destination. It's something I never thought I would do, but it's really cool and it's almost an honor to be trying it. So let's cross our fingers for some fish here. It's time to catch something. Just missed one, Sean. Oh, come back for it. He just throttled it and came off. Damn it. One thing that is definitely a trip is being such a little boat in such a big pond. We're going by these 400-foot ships. This is a big naval vessel behind me. Hopefully it's not illegal to be filming it right now, but nevertheless, U.S. Navy, I'm not trying to give away any secrets, I'm just saying. Nice boat. One of the stretches we're about to go by here is the mouth of the Willamette River. And the Willamette River runs south into the central part of Oregon. That goes hundreds and hundreds of miles down in the Willamette Valley. So we're about to get into a double-sized river here again. And as we round that corner around Kelly Point and around the mouth of the mouth of the Willamette River, we're gonna have another one of those stretches like we had yesterday where we can pretty much see our destination, but it's like 15 miles away. So, nevertheless, we got a good working rod. We still have outgoing tide till about 2 o'clock. Then we're gonna start to see that current slow down. So I'm trying to conserve my battery. I've been paddling quite a bit. I'm trying to keep the right speed and keeping that correct thump on my rod. So got one good bite going right under the 205 or the I-5 bridge, excuse me. Got a really good whack. I didn't get it on camera, but it was exciting. Let me know that we actually are doing something right out here. But with any luck, we'll be eating salmon tonight. We're just coming around just past the mouth of the Willamette River, and now we basically have this very consistent bank all the way down to where we're gonna camp tonight. So we're gonna stand our best shot at catching a fish from about here till the end of the day. So we have a very consistent bank, comes down, flattens out, about 30 to 40 feet all the way through here. It's gonna make it easy for us not to be getting snagged up and continue to fish properly all the way through here. So I got some scent, I got some Procure on my spinner blade. I'm feeling good about it though. I'm feeling good. Let's keep going. think I have a fish. Yep, I do have a fish. I have a fish, everybody. I got one. I got one. Got one, Sean. I don't know what it is yet. I'm gonna kill my motor. Okay, there he goes. He's awake now. He knows he's on now. Oh, I don't know what to do here. My net is way in the back, you guys. I'm just gonna do this. This seems crazy, but I don't really have a choice. I'm gonna keep myself in gear. I'm gonna keep him on there. I need to get back to my net. Okay. It's a tiny net. Not necessarily best case scenario here, but this is all I got. I have to deal with it. Okay, moment of truth. See if I can get him. It's a really good one, you guys. Oh, he's okay. Almost got him. Come on. Oh God. First salmon of the trip, you guys. This is so exciting. Please stay on there. I dropped it. I thought I hit the bottom and he just kind of was swimming with me. It's a little bit dark. We'll see if it's a hatchery fish. I'm gonna keep it because that means it's a springer. But if it's a wild fish, it's a 𝗛𝗘𝗟, and I'm gonna let it go. It's not one that we're gonna wanna eat. Yes, first fish. First salmon, everybody. Second salmon ever in my kayak. Oh God. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I might get him here. Oh. Okay. Oh God, this is very nerve-wracking. It's a hatchery. It is a hatchery. Got him. I got him. I did it. I did it, little. Yeah, I did it. Yeah. Look at that. Definitely a springer. Looks like one from my home river. Yeah, little party. There it is. Fish on. Oh, that is so exciting, you guys. Nope, smells like a springer. So this time of year we have some spring Chinook that are still heading up to certain tributaries in the Columbia. And then we also have the 𝗛𝗘𝗟 salmon, which is more identifiable by being wild, one, and two, having a lot more spots than this one on the tail, especially. See how that one doesn't have a ton of spots? And the smell, the 𝗛𝗘𝗟s have a really musky, kind of dirty salmon smell. So this is the one we were looking for. Woohoo! Fish on. All right, he really ate that one. He wasn't coming off. I needed that. I needed that kind of hook, especially with these barbless hooks in the Columbia. I needed him to eat it just like that. Party, party on. Woo! First salmon of the trip. Hopefully not the last. So cool. And I'm standing up. Made it. I made it. Whoa, I'm surfing, everybody. I'm surfing. Well, that was freaky. Okay, back to fishing. Sheesh. All right, well, we'll talk to you later tonight. Bye. Well, Marlon just called, and I'm oddly enough bass fishing again for the second time. And he called just in the opportune time. He's running our truck down to Astoria so we can get ourselves out of the river once we finally get down there. So in honor of Marlon, I'm bass fishing again. It's funny enough. Here we go. Okay, can we fit? Round two. Oh yeah, like a glove. And I think we're in bass territory now. Well, it was worth a try. Time for some lunch. What do you addicts think out there? How do you think it's gonna cut? Let's see the comments below. Let's start dropping them. It got even a little bit darker since we've had it, but this time of year we see a lot of late springers show up to the Cathlamet River, which we were just below the mouth of the Willamette. And this, I would call this like a sandy river springer, but it has a lot more spots than we normally see on a fish from my home river. And so we're gonna test this thing out and see where did it come from. But if I was a betting man, and right now I am, I'd bet dinner tonight that this thing is gonna cut beautifully. So I'll put it right here. Some beautiful eggs inside of it. You see how underdeveloped they are. Telltale sign of a springer. Oh my God. And there you have it. Beautiful piece of meat. A little bit pale cut, but as a female, when those eggs start to develop like that, you'll get a little bit of that lighter colored meat towards the tail like that, just because they're giving so much of their nutrients into those eggs. But nevertheless, I would say definitely not a tule. Beautiful color. In the bag she goes. All right, on today's menu, we're going with the last of our cheese. Some smoked fish. Got some canned fish, the last of our fish salad, and some hummus. And of course, don't forget the crackers. Come here, little. I'll do a little hummus, little salad, little cheese, little fish, little snack. Dang. You know, one thing brought to light by this snack is just how cool it is, how many different ways you can, not enjoy a cracker, but enjoy a fish. Here's 3 different methods that I've used. Here's just some leftover salmon that I used. I did a little bit of sour cream, a little bit of light mayo, onions, pepper jam, like chili jam, some cucumbers, and that's it. Just mixed it all up, a little bit of cowboy seasoning. And then we have the canned fish, which has a completely different flavor. And of course we have the smoked fish. So when anybody ever tells you they don't like fish or they're tired of eating it, tell them they're not trying hard enough, because this is amazing. And it feels so special to be out here catching them, living for them, and eating them all at the same time. Okay, so we made extremely good time today. So we only got about another 8-9 miles. We basically just have the length of this island here to go. This is called Bachelor Island. And this is where I was talking about. Just the other side of this island is Ridgefield, Washington. And this is the exact place that I was telling you about that Lewis and Clark stayed. So they came about this far, stayed with this native community for, I don't know, a couple of days, weeks even. But it became like a kind of a stronghold area for this. It was the 𝗪𝗟𝗟 Indian tribe. So we got some really good water, but like I said before, the goal the rest of the night is to get Mr. Sean into a salmon. So we're gonna try our best. We got him set up correctly. He's got everything right. We got a lot of time, and our camp is gonna be right at the river mouth of a very good fishery. So let's all cross our fingers, give some thumbs up there to get Sean a fish. Send him some luck, everybody. Come on, Sean, you can do it. Well, there it is. 60 miles, 1 salmon, camp number 2. Let's get set up. Well, I think we've already come up with a name for this camp. Mosquito Den. This place is absolutely infested with mosquitoes. I'm pretty sure I have one on my cheek right now, but hopefully we can get up away from the water, away from the swampy stuff. Get some dinner cooked, maybe start a fire to kind of get rid of these things, but put a little bug spray on. It's time to build camp. I think Little hates this more than anybody right now. His arch nemesis is bugs. Ooh, this is not gonna be a good night. I can feel it. We brought our little cover-up tarp to cover ourselves up with, but it's not gonna completely mask these mosquitoes. So nevertheless, we can get away from them until it's dark. Sean still needs to catch a fish, but it's dinner time. Let's cook. All right, obviously what's on the menu tonight? Fresh springer. And I still am pretty amazed by how nicely this fish cut. She turned out like a beaut. She really is a beaut, Clark. Oh my God. It's the old-fashioned game of getting eaten while eating. Gonna go a nice big chunk here. There it is. It really was a little bit brighter than it seemed. Still has a little bit of a sheen to it. So I don't have any butter. I wasn't actually really prepared to cook this. I don't have any oil either, but I did bring some Worcestershire sauce. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna season the fish with a little Worcestershire, like that. Kind of rub it in, get that stuff on there. It's got a great little salt flavor to it. Then I'm gonna saute it in a real low temp in the pan in that Worcestershire. So it might come out a little bit salty, but that's okay. It's gonna add that little bit of moisture. And this fish does have quite a bit of fat in it already, so that's gonna help. Got a little garlic and pepper seasoning. There we go, nice little cover. A little bit of pepper. Hell, and we're ready. Ready to cook. Like I said, I'm gonna go with a real nice low heat. I'm gonna get that sauce a little hot. Get it to hot sauce. All right, and for the salad, we're gonna do something a little bit different tonight. We're gonna go some wedged lettuce. Kind of a chopped salad style here. We are gonna get re-up. My special lady friend is gonna come through tonight across from us here and drop off another cooler full of food that I've already prepared for this week. It's gonna be similar to the same menu, but I have a couple surprises in there for you guys. But needless to say, we ate all our bag salads last night, so now we don't have any more. So we're improvising. We're improvising out here on the water. So I'm gonna go a little lettuce, half an avocado, Whew, thank God that wind started. Doesn't help for cooking, but no more mosquitoes for a minute. Don't want to jinx it though. We're gonna go, I got some pickled onions and carrots in here we're gonna throw in. And maybe just a pickle itself, because we're feeling fresh and spry. We're feeling funky, funky monkey. Chop these up nice and fine. This is gonna add a nice tangy flavor to this salad. Then we're gonna top that concoction off with some hummus as a dressing. You guys are probably thinking, what the hell? But I'm kind of thinking the same thing, but I think it's gonna be delicious. Ooh, that's looking nice. Almost like a Thousand Island style. Maybe add just a splash of Worcestershire for wetness. A little bit of black pepper. And there it is, we got a salad. Healthy, no mayonnaise, no dressing, no nothing. Just fresh ingredients. Let's give it a try. Yum. It's actually really, really good. It has a nice texture to it too. Got all the different flavors. That came together. Tsunami. Okay. Moment of truth. Let's give her the flip. Oh, that looks absolutely unreal. See, this is a new one for me, guys. We're improvising on this whole meal tonight. We ate all of our good food, all of our snacks, all of our candy on the first 60 miles. We got maybe the hardest 60 miles yet to do. It's a long, long, long ways to Astoria now. The river bends, and we'll show on the map here, we'll cut to the clip, but the river goes, as soon as we pass the mouth of Willamette, right about where I caught that fish, the river points due north, and then it'll point back to the west and go down to the ocean towards Astoria. So going from south to north, some of the best fishing yet. That's really where we're gonna start to focus on our Chinook fishing. Tomorrow night, we're gonna do a method of fishing that we're definitely not gonna be able to do here tonight, but that is extremely effective, like I talked before in the video. But tomorrow, as we troll, we're going by a lot of the best river mouths in the whole entire estuary. As we go down, we're going past 4 or 5 of the main inlets where a lot of these fall Chinook are coming in the fall. So fingers are crossed for some big bright Chinook, but I'm glad we got the one to eat tonight. It's gonna be a beautiful sunset again. And that fish is amazing. You guys have seen me use Worcestershire sauce a lot in some of my smoked fish recipes. If you watch a lot of the Addicted Fishing videos, I use Worcestershire in my brine for smoking fish. I don't cook with it a lot like this, so I'm interested to see how good it's gonna turn out. And that first little taste definitely gave me a good feeling. Yep. We're good. We're good. We're good. I was just setting some out for little. Not even a flake of sand. Good thing we're camping in the grass. I guess this will give us a chance to try it. Brings a whole new meaning to the 5-second rule. That was more like 4. Oh yeah, score! Not quite the plate appeal that I was hoping for, considering the drop. Phenomenal flavor though, holy crap. All right. Those little bites of onion and pickle in there are amazing. A little bit of pickled stuff in a salad never hurt no one. Got the avocado. Beautiful color to that fish. Damn good. I'm happy that turned out. Okay, time to get the hell out of these mosquitoes. Full belly now, feeling good. We're actually camping in the mouth of a river where you can allow 2 hatchery Chinook a day, so I'm allowed to keep fishing now, but I'm gonna turn you guys over to Sean, go out for the evening troll. See you guys later. Talk about it, Sean. It's on.
All right, time to run for the mosquitoes. Let's go fishing. Deploying, see if I can get one.
I just lost a really nice one. Flip my ass, dude.
Oh really? Inside the, where are you? Like, how far up?
I'm on the pilings. Yeah, come in here, because the tide's not moving out yet. Yeah, first pass, and more my ass up.
Okay. So it looks like Jordan lost one. Jordan's got a fish. Jordan's got a fish.
I was on my way to give Sean some leads because you got to go really light lead in here. Trolling down to him, almost to the mouth, and just got slammed by this one here. And it is really big. I had him to 13 feet and he just went all the way out to 100 on one run. Come on, baby. Okay, we're right here. Here we go, here we go. Here we go. Oh, he's right under me. He's Moby Dicking me. He's submarining me. Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go. This is it. Oh, it's huge. I got him in the net. I got him. I got him. I got him. It's a wild one, so we have to let it go. But I don't care, because that was an epic fight. Holy crap, little, look out, look out. Now, if we would have got this one in Columbia, we would have been able to keep it earlier today, but that's okay. Oh, God. Got a nice evening shower. Oh, man, the thing doesn't even fit in the net. So like I said, I just hooked one a few minutes ago, further up into the river, and was just coming down to give Sean some leads, and was blessed with this thing. I'm gonna get him gone. Thank you, bud. We'll see you later. Wow, that was exhilarating. That thing absolutely kicked my ass. I'm glad that was a tule anyways. You could kind of tell by the way it was, and very, very obviously different smell than the last one we got, the one that we ate today. So check it off the list. 1 springer, 1 tule, 3rd fish of the trip. Yeah. All right, let's get Sean some leads and keep trolling before dark.
Jordan got one again, and I still haven't got one yet. So wish me luck.
Oh yeah. Shh, I hear ya. Oh, he's right here already. Oh God. Oh God, he's really kicking my butt again. Oh, this turned into a great night, everybody. Mosquito den, night 2. Fish on. Oh God, he just came off. Whew, that one was hot. Dang it. All right, your turn, Sean. Okay, well, this is already showing to be the most trying day of all. We had to go charge the batteries this morning, re-up our coolers, and the batteries took way longer than expected to charge. We really can't make this trip, especially with tides, without these fresh batteries. So it's 1 o'clock already. It's gonna be a long day. And we're off on day 3's adventure. I'm a little stressed out right now, I'm not gonna lie, Alex. Little stressed out. We have another 30 miles to go. And when we get rolling out on the river and I have a little time, I'm gonna get on the chest cam here and show you exactly our plotted course for today. We gotta make it 30 miles. We gotta make it down to Stella, Washington, or the Oregon side of it, which is a few miles above Cathlamet, which is gonna put us about 36 miles away from Astoria the next day, which is fine because we don't need to camp that last day. So that extra 6 miles is definitely doable. We saw that yesterday. We made a lot of good time. We made it about 8 hours, but Sean brought to light again that tonight is a full moon. So I think even though I'm stressing, we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be able to cover a lot of ground today. And even if it does get dark on us, we're gonna be okay. We'll be able to navigate safely, but we might be going by moonlight, just like Lewis and Clark. So wish us luck. I really don't know how today's gonna go. I know we got some really, really good fishing spots to go through, so that's what I'm most excited about. But nevertheless, let's get underway. It's time to go. Okay, already we're facing some adversity. Sean's battery did not charge, so he's only got one fully charged one. I'm just getting out of the river, putting my stuff on. I'm gonna resend, send it down, see if we can get us a fish despite all of the cluster that we are experiencing right now. Well, I've decided to kind of quit fishing. We got a really good troll coming out down below around this next bend where I'm hoping the wind kind of stops. It's definitely lightened up just in the last few hundred yards that I've made some headway in, but we got about a 5-6 mile an hour steady headwind upriver, and Sean's battery's all the way dead. Mine's at 3/4. We have 2 full batteries. So what I'm thinking, and we'll have to see if we can find any generous people along the way, is that maybe somewhere near where we camp tonight, if we can find a house or maybe somebody out on a dock or something and ask them if they have a battery charger, and see if some goodwill will come our way by some fellow anglers, some fellow river enthusiasts, and maybe we'll be able to get somebody to charge our battery for us, because we're definitely going to need it. I'm really starting to worry now. Honestly, I'm getting pretty concerned, especially with Sean's well-being, because even right now I can't even see him back there. Oh God, there's a ship coming behind me too. We got this big ship right here coming up. Big Glovis, big old car hauler, probably full of Toyotas or Kias or Mitsubishis. Probably Mitsubishis. Then we got this giant one coming up our rear back there. It's getting real out here. It's getting real freaky. I'll tell you that much right now. Oh, that guy looks like he's coming right at me. I don't know if you guys can see that back there. See that giant ship right about there? Yeah, right about here. He doesn't look like he likes me. A little freaky, not gonna lie. Tidge bit freaky. I kind of want to go around these islands. Oh, this guy's throwing off a huge wake. It's definitely gonna be the weirdest day of the trip. I can already feel it. The last day is kind of the home free day. Even if it takes us a long time, we're still gonna get there. Today, a lot of nerves involved. Oh man, it's gonna be a gnarly shot when this guy goes by, crosses this other guy's waves. These things, whoa, whoa. Okay then. Jesus, those are big waves. Okay, we're safe. Well, let's see how far we gotta go. So our destination here is going to be right across from Stella, Washington on the Oregon side. So let's go measure distance. We gotta go past Cathlamet. Let's go ahead and add point. And we gotta go all the way to the mouth of the 𝗪𝗟𝗪𝗏 River. Add the point. Then we gotta go under the Longview Bridge all the way to here. We'll add that point. And then I think probably try to get to here. So roughly about another 20 miles. I've really only made about 12 miles so far. Crap. This is gonna be a long night. 20 miles, about 2 miles an hour, 10 hours. This isn't gonna be that fun. But I do think it's gonna be a really, really interesting experience. Okay, update. The tide is really kicking my ass, and I really, considering a battery situation, don't think it's smart to be fighting it this hard. High tide's in about another hour. I see a nice little shaded spot right up here on the bank, right over yonder. And so I think what I'm gonna do, because right now, like, I'm not paddling, I got my motor set on 5. I'm going a half mile an hour against the tide. And like I said, I just don't think that's smart with what we're doing. So I'm gonna go hang out in the shade, maybe get some food in my stomach and wait for this tide to switch, because right now we're working way too hard, we're burning too many calories, and we're expending way too much energy to not get anywhere, like literally not anywhere. I'm not even moving downriver right now. So no need to waste battery, no need to waste time. I'm gonna hit the bank, try to relax a little bit, and as soon as I see that tide moving out, we're gonna jump back on the river and start hauling ass as best we can. Oh, okay, here it is. Here it is. Yikes. A lot of work. But this will do for a while. Maybe sneak in a nap. Beautiful grass bank up here. Let's go check it out. Oh, paradise. Paradise on earth. Sweet spot. What do you think, Little? What do you think of this spot? Yeah. That's all I have to do for now. Okay, I think we've waited long enough, as long as I can at least. It's definitely gonna be a night mission. Might have to pick up a pizza along the way. Come on, Little. Let's go. Okay, here goes nothing. Never gonna make it, but there it is. 𝗪𝗪𝗏 pizza paradise. Get us a refreshment, get us some food, and continue this long ass journey today. It's definitely the hardest day so far. This wind is extremely frustrating. It's really the only word that is appropriate to use on YouTube is frustrating, not effing stupid. Oh, I hate the wind. Thank God we're getting pizza. All right, Little. Let's go get some pizza. What do you think? Let's. I got a pizza to go for Jordan.
Yeah. Did you already order it?
Yeah.
Got it. So you know where the host stand is at?
Yeah, but I got the dog and stuff.
You can take the dog inside, as long as it's not like in the dining area.
Okay. Figured I didn't want to take a dog and no shoes inside. Everybody's already looking at me weird enough. Here. Stay here. Stay here.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, good to hear. Here's that for you.
you. Awesome, dude. Thank you. You want pizza? Little wants pizza. Pizza? Restaurant dog? He's such a good boy. Love you, Little. He's such a good boy. Thanks for being a good boy. You're going to earn yourself a piece of pizza. Yes. Cheers to you. Damn good. Damn good. Pizza time. Filled up to Sean. I wonder where he could be. Who cares? We got pizza. Oh, yeah. If you guys have never been to this restaurant, Cathlamet McMenamins. McMenamins is a chain out here in the Pacific Northwest. And that's killer food. Great brews. Good service, obviously. Pizza. That'll do. That will do. There you go, Little, for being such a good boy. There you go. Thanks for being so good in there. Everybody thinks you're the best. Yeah, I think you're the best too. You're the best friend, Little. Don't know about. Oh, just wants the chicken, huh? Nah, he'll eat it. Maybe. Maybe. No? Snubbing it? Just the chicken, eh? Well, playtime's over. Time to get serious. In the back, all the way. Boy. I've made the executive decision now to try it without a motor for a while. We got the help of these Minn Kotas. Just put in a brand spanking new motor, or excuse me, battery for the motor. And again, that's got to last us a long ways, a whole another 15 miles. We got a good river tide going. Like I'm just kind of telling, looking at the bank here, we're getting a good 2.5, 3 miles an hour without anything, without any propulsion from the motor. So we can get out of this damn wind, hopefully by switching that river direction, maybe getting back on the Oregon side, we'll get out of this freaking hellacious wind and give us a little more steam, make it a little bit easier for us to travel. But right now with no motor, we're making pretty good time. I can see we're going at least 2 miles an hour, so we're gonna stick with that for a while, hug the bank, stay out of the wind, see how far we can get. Okay, yeah, actually we're looking straight at 𝗛𝗄 right now. So we could just come straight across there, and I'm guessing the boat ramp's right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay, we can do that. It'll take us about 20 minutes to get across there, and then we'll just wait for you.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, all I gotta do is just run to Walmart real quick and go grab that battery for you guys.
Sick. Well, we do need 2 of them.
You need 2?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, no worries.
We need 1 for Sean's and 1 for I's, just a big, like what you would use for your normal trolling motor.
Yeah.
Sick, man. You're a lifesaver.
Yeah, man.
Awesome. Well, we sure appreciate you. I'm going to turn my motor on and go over to 𝗛𝗄.
Yeah, man. No worries, Jordan.
All right, bro. I appreciate it.
All right. See you in a little bit.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Saved by the fans. Oh, hold on. Let me turn my music off. We're really going to be jamming here in a second. Huge thanks to the Addicted supporters for always being there for us, especially in times like this. We got a long ways to go tonight and again tomorrow, so this is a lifesaver. We're gonna get 2 brand new batteries straight across the river. Good thing we didn't go too far, so let's motor up, let's get across, let's go get us some batteries. Oh, you're a savior, man. Oh, Jordan. John, good to meet you, dude. Thanks for helping us out, buddy.
Oh, size and everything, right?
They should fit in there.
Yeah.
These are pretty small for the battery box, so.
All right.
Perfect, dude. You're a savior. Yeah, thank you so much. Woo! We're gonna make it, everybody. We're gonna make it. Well, everybody, we're into it. pretty damn rough out here to be going at dark, but luckily there's navigational beacons on the river. We're going downriver, so the green light should be on the right, the red light should be on the left. We have our bow and stern lights so that any of the boats can see us. And really, as a kayak or as a small vessel, it's your job to stay out of the way of those big ones, out of the working vessel's way. Luckily, there's not a ton of traffic already tonight. I've seen one other barge. Looks like there might be one coming at us right now, but a giant full moon behind us. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. Let me turn the light off. Somewhere out there in the distance, over yonder. But nevertheless, we're getting kind of bounced around pretty hard out in the middle here, getting pretty wet. Luckily, the river temperature is like 75 degrees, so it's actually nice to get splashed with the water. It's warmer than the air temperature. But we're going to head kind of into the side of the channel where it's a little bit more glassy. I can see it's not capping as much as it is out here. Hopefully, at some point, when the river turns a certain direction, we'll be able to not be getting hit by the wind so freaking bad. But wind is definitely making this the hardest day so far. And night. Let's not get mistaken here. It's 10 o'clock at night right now. So I'm over it. I just charted it out. We got like 15 more miles to go. So we're gonna make as much headway as we can today. Try to get as far as we possibly can, and see where that gets us. Cross your fingers for us, everybody. We're gonna need some help here. Alright everybody, the wind has finally stopped and we are hauling ass. We're making a pretty steady 4.5 to 5 miles an hour downriver right now. What's wrong? What's wrong? Little's not happy. He says, I want to go home to my bed now. What's wrong? What's wrong? You got a potty? It's a bad time, Little. Got a potty? You hungry? Here, go potty. There's no way you got a potty. Little's concerned. Maybe it's because I just yelled. I think he's concerned because I just yelled. I think it's okay. But nevertheless, we're making a good 4.5, 5 miles an hour. It's turned into a beautiful night. Thank goodness that wind stopped, because that was freaking brutal. But now we're making good time. We're making good headway. We're gonna get to camp. Tonight's camp is gonna be very, very bummy. We're just gonna throw the cot up on the bank, get in our sleeping bag and go to bed. We're really only gonna get about 3 to 4 hours of sleep, but we gotta ride that outgoing tide in the morning. That's the most important part of this whole thing, so. Keep it pointed downhill, keep paddling. Let's do it. Well, nothing wrong with a little late night liquor snack for dessert. Kind of getting cold out here. Okay, it's officially 1:15 in the morning. We still out here, but I think this is as far as we're gonna make it. We're about 4 miles short of our 30 miles today. 2 full batteries used, and I just want a place to sleep. We got a huge tide coming in. It starts at about 4:30 in the morning, so we got to get going at daylight on that outgoing tide if we want to even get close. We got 47 miles to get to Astoria in the morning. 17 miles further than our normal goal each day, but I think with the tide as fast as it's going to go in the morning, we might make it. So I'm going to pull over here. It doesn't really look like an optimal spot, but it's a beach. I can tell that much. Life's a beach, if you know what I'm saying. And we're gonna just throw the cot up, try to get a little shut-eye. Well, quickly realized that spot ain't gonna work. It's way too tidal. We went way back up in the brush, and still it's all muddy flat where that water's gonna go up to tonight. So our only option is to go in 1 more mile downriver to the island that we originally had scoped out. But the tide is coming in hard. We're barely making 1.5 miles an hour, so I can see the end in sight, but our batteries are dying again. Our original sleep spot is where we're gonna go. I guess we're not going to bed till 2. Well, this would work. Finally hit the island. Didn't really look like it was gonna work as I started to pull up here, but looks like we got a pretty good little ramp. There's only 2 more foot of tide gonna come in tonight. So let's take a quick look. I'm gonna clamp you guys. Go for a little walkabout real quick. See if this is our spot for the night or not. Oh my God, I'm so tired. My body hurts. My brain hurts. My soul hurts a little bit even. This is called character building of sorts. I think that's what we're gonna call this, character building. This is gonna have to work. Got dry land. That's a nice little pocket out of the wind right here. It's perfect. Tide's not gonna reach here tonight. Oh, beavers. There's some beavers out there. You can see we're only 2 feet away from the high tide, which is right here. So me and Sean will have to muscle our boats up, set up a cots right there. This is gonna work. Time for a little nap. Well, I'm not even getting in my sleeping bag tonight, everybody. Just gonna take a little nappy poo. Might as well not even take the life jacket off. I'm so tired. All right, good night, everyone. Okay, woke up about an hour late, but that's okay. Nevertheless, we gotta get the hell out of here. Got a couple hours of sleep, slept pretty good, mosquitoes weren't bad. Nevertheless, the tide's going that way, so that's the way we wanna go too. Let's go, everybody. Well, a little more official good morning to you guys. Doing a little breakfast on board today. Little's got his dog food back here. He's not kind of snubbing it right now. I got my salmon salad on the move. You can see all the tide, the ripples and boils behind me here. Tide is hauling ass. We did wake up a little late. I wanted to wake up at 4, or excuse me, 5. I ended up leaving about 6. 6:30 or so. I don't even know what time it is. I didn't even look. Let's look really quick just for captain's log. 7. Really needed that hour. Missed about an hour of the tide, but it's okay. Looking at the bank, there's still a lot of tide to go. I hope. God dang it. This is so hard, you guys. This is really hard to be able to physically and mentally pull all this off. This is exhausting. Absolutely exhausting. Kayak until 2:30 in the morning, trying to be up by 4. 2 hours of sleep when your body's tired, your brain's tired, you're fatigued. My shoulders are killing me. My right shoulder's always kind of had some issues from rowing over the years. I'm just beating myself up like I like to do. But I'm sure you can see it in our eyes. I'm getting pretty worn out. The truth of the story is we have 2 fresh batteries, 47 miles to go. I hope we make it. This is gonna be a long freaking day if we don't. I do not want to stay out here another night. I want to go home and sleep in my own bed. No more mosquitoes. Well, about almost 15 miles in. Making really good time. We've been going 5 to 6 miles an hour this whole time. Right now we're doing a steady 3.7, 3.8. We're at 4 miles an hour. I got my rod out. Right now we're trolling really nice. They got a killer thump going. You guys can see the timing on that thump of my rod. Just womp, womp, womp. Oh yeah, looking good. Looking good. Roll number 1, looking good, everybody. We're almost to Cathlamet right now. I can almost see the town of Cathlamet. And that is basically signals the halfway point on this trip, of today's trip. If we can get to Skamawkaway, wait out the tide and ride that outgoing tide from 4 till 9 o'clock, I have a feeling if we can be going that 4 to 5 miles an hour, we'll cover that 15 extra miles that we need to get and get to Astoria right at dark. I really don't want to be down in that lower estuary in the dark. I just don't think that's safe. kind of worries me a little bit, thinking about trying to cross those channels and navigate this really shallow, basically braes of the river to try to get into Astoria in the middle of the night. I don't want to do it in the dark. This has been a crazy adventure so far. Last night was wild, and my body is just killing me. And just to kind of think of the whole trip in a nutshell too, like where we've been so far, what we've seen, how many river miles we've covered, over 90 miles now. Getting close to 100 actually, which is pretty cool. Paddled 100 miles down this damn river, so the guns are getting big. Oh, bottom. Oh, scared me. I better get to paddling, everybody. See you in a bit. All right, everybody, we fought our way as far as we could today. About 15 miles, we're at the halfway point to Astoria. We're in Cathlamet, Washington. And I think what we're gonna do, the tide's just starting to push. As you can see, we're not floating down river at all. We're just sitting here. It's gonna start pushing uphill again, which we don't wanna fight. We don't have enough battery life to fight against that. So the outgoing tide starts at 4:30 and the low is at 9 o'clock. So with any luck, we might get stuck out here one more night, but with any luck, we will make it to Astoria right at dark. If we play the tides right. So we're not going to burn our batteries against the tide because we're not going to make enough headway to even make it worth it at all. So we're going to pull into the harbor here. I'm going to see if the harbor master maybe has a battery charger that we can use, find some help from some more river people along the way, and maybe we can get these batteries charged up a little bit more because my new one's already at half the one that John brought us last night. Sean's is at 3/4. And then I have the other battery, the old battery with just a little bit of charge left, maybe a quarter or to half the charge left. So we're gonna pull in, get some food cooked up, maybe go get a drink at the local watering hole. And then we'll head downriver at 4. Clammy. Oh, still got my sea legs. So my new friend John, I just walked up, and our new friend John and the Salty Lady, which passed us way back up in Ridgefield a couple days ago, I just walked up there and he introduced himself and said hi, and we started BSing, and he said, well, what are you doing here? I said, well, looking for a battery charger. And he says, well, shit, I got one in my boat. I'll go grab it. Let's find some electricity. So game on. Let's put these batteries on the charger. All right, let's go see our buddy John.
This one's getting worn out. Well, this is one of the original ones, nothing but rope. They used a lot of rope on this. And that's what they use for.
So almost everything's salvaged, you're saying? You don't buy anything?
Everything's free on the river.
Yeah, everything comes from the river. The river giveth.
Oh, I got so many.
That's why I always say the river giveth, the river taketh.
And see, this here is the original cockpit floor. That's teak. That's about the most original part of the boat.
the main floor.
Yeah, then this back here, part here is original.
That's pretty neat. 1942. Little dockside lunch. Not bad. Okay, we're gonna do this a little bit different this time. I'm gonna go a little bit of kicking chicken on the kicking salmon, or it was kicking salmon. I can't believe how well this thing cut either. I know a lot of you addicts out there who do get to go salmon fishing and like to do this are probably looking at that fish being like, Jordan, don't keep that. But look at how beautiful that meat is. And it has a nice watermelon flavor, apparently, John said, because it's been sitting in the cooler with watermelon for 2 days. So, but it's nice and cold. It's been on ice the whole time. So it's looking good. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put the stuff in here face down, cover it up, kind of like I'm putting it in the oven, just like so. Put it flesh side down, and I'm gonna just slow cook this thing for quite a while here, and try to just let this get some heat in there, kind of act like kind of that oven effect with the lid on top of it, just like so. And then I'm gonna do something real special. I have this really, really nice onion dip that I got down in Tillamook, Oregon. It's like a French onion dip. And then I'm gonna top on top of this. Once I flip that over and get that other side seared, when I put it skin side down, I'm gonna put this stuff on top, let it render into the meat. It's gonna be delicious paired with the salad. She's done. Let her try a bite.
Feels so good, man. Great. Real fish.
Real fish, right from the river.
Not out of a can.
That'll do. There you are, my friend. I'll grab you some utensil. There you are.
Oh God, this is wonderful.
You like that? Good. Good stuff.
All of his friends, all of his friends will love his tomorrow.
Gotta thank the river for this one.
Jeez.
Thank the river for fish and new friends.
There we go. Cathlamet.
Well, I think the safest route is that wind's coming out of the west pretty hard. This point from Oregon will block the wind a little bit.
Oh yeah, you think I take a shortcut?
Yeah, I think what we're gonna do is we'll leave the port here, go straight across to the other side and around this island.
You can even go through here.
Yeah, just cut right through and then stay to the Oregon side all the way down. And we should be able to make it. And it shouldn't be too low yet since we're going out at the top of high. And we can just follow it through instead of running the main channel. And we'll pop out here. East Mooring Basin is the destination. That'll get us there. Worst comes to worst, I'll have to tow Sean. Well, my friend, it's been a pleasure. Yeah, I'll be seeing you this week.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Wish us luck.
The fish, I owe you.
No, that's all you, man. The river giveth. In this case, it gave. All right.
Yeah, you're getting good sun. Makes you feel good.
Made it out. Left old John back at home. So cool meeting that guy. Just meeting so many other people along this trip. Nevertheless, god dang wind is blowing again, and really bad, but we charted this course that's going to keep us out of it. Luckily it was an option that we wouldn't have made it. There's no way. It would have taken us 3 more days to get this last little bit. And the thing is, once that tide really starts ripping out here in a couple hours, combined going the opposite direction of the west wind, it's going to make for some gnarly ass white caps, which is not going to be okay. There's no way we can handle it. It wouldn't be safe. But we're going to slip across. I got my nose pointed straight at the slough. About another half mile across the channel here. All I know is just yonder, those hills, is my truck. And that truck means bed at home. Warm, no mosquitoes, and whatever treats I want in the world. So let's just get there. Let's just get there, everybody. Put the rod away. It's time to just motor and get to the frickin' destination. I don't know if we're gonna get stuck out here tonight or not. I really hope we don't, but you're gonna have to stick around and find out. Boy, one thing I can say, a lot better behind this island. It's a lot better wind, beautiful sights, and And this estuary is something that just it blows your mind just to fathom the sheer scale of it all. We're not even in the river. And you guys can look behind me and look over here just at the sheer size of the area. And just to think about the idea of how vast this area really is. There's another almost 10 miles of river over on the other end here that goes to the other bank on the far side of the Washington side. This is the Oregon side right here to our left. But just to kind of put into perspective the grand scheme of this river that we floated down. And I'll tell you one thing I could say is I cannot wait to come around the corner and see that Astoria Bridge crossing this massive channel that we call the Columbia River. But two, just to think of where all this water comes from, and just you know, try to wrap your mind around how much life and how much ecosystem is built into this one area. You know, the Columbia River starts in British Columbia, like I said in the intro, and flows all the way down and has all these different rivers that come from Idaho, Washington, Oregon, from all different ends of those states, and dumps into this massive area that this is the bottom of. Like, this is where everything comes. This is where all the water comes, and this is where all the fish start, and where all the fish grow up, where they start as juveniles living in this estuary system, and then grow up, go out to the ocean, and come back as adults after two to 5 years. But it's just been wild. It's been wild to think about how big it is, how massive this place is, and how small we are on the earth. So let that sink in for a little while. A little hippie knowledge from Jordan Knigge. Well, I can smell something, I can hear something, and I can see something right now that makes me very, very, very happy. And that is this little guy right back there. That's the Astoria Bridge, ladies and gentlemen. We did it! Yeah, Tiny! Just rounded Tongue Point, and off in the distance is the Astoria Bridge and the beautiful, bustling hubbub of Astoria, which marks the end of our journey. Sean's back there a little ways. I'm gonna wait for him here before we go into the harbor together, because this is a monumental moment for me, for Sean, for Little. 120 miles, wind, rain, fish, camping, mosquitoes, and good food, and amazing friends. I think the best part of this entire journey has been the incredible help and the community of river people along the way. And it's something that I'll talk more about here in a little bit, but it's just such an empowering and such an inspiring feeling to be somewhere and to be around people in a community of people that care so much about each other and that care so much about the river and about living the same lifestyle and loving the same things. So with all that being said, there it is, Astoria Bridge, Astoria town. Let's get to my truck. I'm ready to go home. What about you, Little? You ready to go home? Yeah, you ready to go home? Me too. Let's do it. Home. Tiny, we're home. We're home. We did it. I want to get in my bed. Oh, well, kayak. Pretty much never want to see you again. Astoria, never thought I'd be so glad to see you. Sea lions, how you doing? Let's go home, everyone. Oh, made it back to our chair, Little. Is that how you feel? Oh, yep, here we go. Come on in. Come on in. What an adventure, eh? Very, very cool adventure. And I've said it a lot throughout the video about wanting to see your guys' input on what you thought of this adventure. Reflecting back on it, so many cool things happened. I can't say this is something I would ever do again unless I took a real boat. So that's kind of my idea after this and after the entirety of this whole film, is how I'd like to do this again, but with a good fishing boat and something that I can be more versatile with and really turn this into a fishing trip rather than just a destination trip on trying to make it back home. I must say I'm very proud of our achievement, and I'm very proud of cameraman Sean sitting behind the camera right now for making this journey with me and paddling so far and going so long into the night and into the days and barely eating food and just working our asses off to make this video. And I'm really, really happy we got to bring this to you guys and share this experience with you on this journey that we made down the Columbia. With all that being said, I'll never forget the miles traveled and the people we met along the way and everything that it took to bring this whole trip together. And I want to say thank you to everybody watching this video as well for the support on this amazing channel, Addicted Fishing. Lewis and Clark's journey was a milestone in U.S. history, and to follow in their footsteps for such a short part of it was truly an honor. The Columbia River is an incredible place and not an environment to be messed with. It's mighty, it's grand, and it's full of adventure. And all I have left to say is, we did it.